start rounding up the troops. Good morning, Unity. Good morning. Why don't you guys join us, please, so we can sing our opening song. Stand up, clap your hands, snap your fingers, move side to side if you want to. It's a beautiful day. The weather is amazing. Let's sing it. Come on. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. All right. Come on, Unity. Sing it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Come on, Unity. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. Hi. How are you? Happy Sunday. Is everybody stoned? Hold up your stone. Did anybody not get a stone when you came in? We need to get stoned down here. Sorry. Darby will be down here. Darby, down here. Thank you. Keep your hand up if you want to get stoned. It's a little early for the day, but there we are. The white stone ceremony. That's what we're talking about. Keep your hand up if you don't have a stone. I saw somebody had their hand up. We're good? We're good? Okay, over here. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, today is kind of the third of our Happy New Year rituals. We will talk a little bit about what we did last week and the week before that. And this is kind of the finale, the big finale of our getting ready for 2025. So exciting, so exciting. We have visitors from Canada, from Toronto. Yay, thank you for being here. So exciting. I greet you in your language. How are you, eh? Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I love Canada. I lived there for a couple of years. Such a wonderful country. So wonderful. I miss my friends so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Anybody else from Canada? Oh, hi, hey, how you doing? Cool. Anybody from another part of the country here today? Where? Oh, my God. Massachusetts. I'm from Massachusetts. How are you? Where? What town? Cape Cod. Oh, my God. Yeah, they lived in Cape Cod, too, didn't you? P-Town, yes. Wonderful. Welcome. So good to have you here. Wherever you're from, no matter how many times you have been here or not been here, we're so glad to have you here. We have so much fun on Sunday morning, don't we? Oh, 5 people do. Oh, maybe by the end, 10 people will have a great time, too. Today, this weekend is Martin Luther King Day, so we're gratefully celebrating that wonderful man. I was in the 7th grade. I was watching television when the news came. I was devastated. I was just devastated. I loved him so much. I knew about him when I used to follow him and read about him in the paper, and it was just, everything seemed to change that day. So I'm so grateful we're celebrating such a wonderful, wonderful man. So we have a lot of service today, so let's get to it. Our opening affirmation is, I take on a new idea, a new vision, a new attitude, and my life works. Can we affirm that like we believe it? Passion and zeal, together. I take on a new idea, a new vision, a new attitude, and my life works. I believe you. Close your eyes for a moment. Let's turn within. In unity, we begin with prayer. Prayer is not begging, not beseeching, not hoping or wishing something's going to happen. Prayer is knowing from the core of our being that this is the truth of who we are. Powerful, glowing, wonderful, spiritual beings, fully human, fully divine, right here, right now. The universe has to respond to what we say, what we affirm, what we do. And it does. Have we been affirming good or lack? Have I been affirming unlimited good or limitation? It's up to me to call my life. It's up to me to create the life that I came to live. So in this new year, we do have a new idea, a new beginning, a new way of doing life here on the planet. I take on a new idea, a new vision, a new attitude, and my life works. And I am so grateful. And so it is. Amen. Let's everybody get up, turn to your neighbor, wish each other a happy Sunday.
Good morning, and when the music stops, we all sit down. My name is Sharon Thomas, and I have been a member of Unity of Pompano for 5 years, having started my journey at Unity of Fort Lauderdale over 20 years ago in Victoria Park. Unity is a positive, practical approach to spiritual living. And there are two tenets that keeps me grounded. One, that God is here and everywhere present. There's nowhere that we are that God is not. The second one is that we are co-creators with God to live our reality. We are inspired by many things at Unity, and one of the things that is so inspiring is our music, led by our music director, James McCoy.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Won't you please welcome with us once again Mr. John Rose at the piano and keyboard. We're very fortunate to have with us from Detroit, Michigan, Mr. Ryan Rose at the drum set this morning. And of course, we've met our featured soloist, Ms. Danette Rivas. And we have music from Jonathan Larson this morning and from Tracy Chapman. So there you go.
Thank you, James. And now for some of our community updates. And just remember, you can find the dates and the time. If you missed any of this, you can find it on our website, unityofpompanobeach.org, or in the happenings. Is there anyone joining us for the first time? Well, welcome to all of you who are back for the second and the third times. And we also wish to say thank you to those who are joining us online. We hope to see you soon in our sanctuary at some time. Now, please join us after the service in Friendship Hall for conversations, just getting to know each other a bit more, for coffee, snacks. And then there is the store, our gift store. The bookstore, you can stop there if there are any last-minute gifts that you need, a card perhaps, a book for any of our workshops, and there are really some exciting gifts. So please pass by. Coming up on Tuesdays through 2nd or the 4th with Paul, the Game of Life at 6:30. Next Saturday, the Senior Discussion Group, 10 a.m. And next Sunday, if you're wondering what Unity is all about, Paul will be having a discussion group after service at 12:30 in Friendship Hall. The New Moon Chinese New Year Sound Healing will take place on January 29th with Darby. And then there is the chili cook-off, February 2nd. And we're inviting anyone with a great chili recipe to bring a pot of chili for this fun fundraiser event. So check online, or you can talk to Wade Catras or Jim Dolan, and you can find details also in the happenings or on our website. Beginning February 18th is the 4T Prosperity Program, and that will be a 12 weeks program. Course materials, $55, and that's payable at the first class. And just a little plug for Women of Unity. Saturday, February 1st, we'll be having Yoga Fit. Please sign up online and then bring cash, $15, but we'll really be having a good workout and fun. And that will be all for updates, but remember, anything you missed, you can check the website or the happenings. Today's daily word is inspired. My words and actions inspire others. I invite you to repeat this affirmation with me. Again, my words and actions inspire others. Now hold this in your heart space as I continue the reading. Today, I reflect on the clear vision, powerful words, and courageous actions of leaders such as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. I appreciate how one person's example can inspire so many others to move beyond thoughts of limitation and focus on the possibilities for good that are always present. Inspiration can be thought of as the breath of God. I, like all people, am made in the image and likeness of the divine. I give thanks for people I have known whose vibrant faith and love, even in the most challenging circumstances, have inspired me. Guided by my divine gifts of imagination and zeal, I join with those building a world where each person lives freely and with joy. And so it is.
There's only us. There's only this. Forget, regret. All life is yours to miss. No other path. No other way. No day but today. There's only us, only tonight. We must let go to know what's right. No other road, no other way, no day but today. I can't control my destiny. I trust my soul. My only goal is just to be. There's only now, there's only here, given to love or live in fear. No other path, no other way, no day but today. No day but today. No day but today. Unity, you can sing it with me as well. No day but today. 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 Unity, I want to hear you sing it with us. No day but today. Yeah. No day but today. Oh, no day but today. 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 No day but today.
Thank you, Danette. Thank you, guys. That's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? No day but today. Today is the day Spirit is made. And we're going to do what? Thank you. Whitestone too, but we're going to rejoice and be glad. And get stoned. That's coming up. Don't jump ahead yet. The wonderful mystic, author, and guru Yogananda tells of meeting a very kind and happy farmer in Seattle on one of his visits there. Yogananda, who was really very psychic, looked at him and said, "Friend, you look happy, but there's a hidden suffering in your life." The farmer was surprised that Yogananda could read him in that way. And he shared that he was a devout Christian, that he was very concerned about his son's evil lifestyle, in his words, and how God was going to burn his son forever in the hellfire of eternal flames. Yogananda told the man that God was a loving God and couldn't possibly create such a thing as hell. Well, the older man got very upset about that and began yelling at Yogananda about the sinfulness of all people and how those who were unrepentant would end up in eternal flames in agony. Yogananda said to the man, "Would you like to save your son?" And the guy said, I'll do anything." Yogananda said, "Do you have a very big oven with a broiler?" The guy said, "Well, yeah, what are you getting at?" And Yogananda said, "Well, what I want you to do is I want you to heat that oven to broiler, to a red hot temperature. Do you have some strong rope and some friends who would not repeat anything against you?" Good. "Call your son to come here, and then with the help of your friends, bind him hand and foot and shove him in the red hot oven." The man was furious. He said, "Who ever heard of a father burning his son, no matter how wicked?" Yogananda said, "That's exactly what I wanted to tell you. Where did you, a human, get this instinct of love except from the Divine Father? Even a human father couldn't stand the cruelty, the thought of roasting his own son alive. How could you think that there's a Divine Father who has infinitely more love than you or I, who created paternal love and could burn his children with hellfire and brimstone?" The farmer's eyes filled with tears, and all he could do was nod in agreement. Hell is a very weird concept. Very weird. And as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, that the idea of hell comes from Gehenna, which was a dump that they burned in Jerusalem. They got rid of stuff they didn't need anymore. So what we're talking about is burning off the dross, the stuff that we don't need anymore, and that's what we did the first week with our burning bowl ceremony. But a loving God, or God is love, love itself could not create hell. It's impossible. There is no such thing as hell. Again, unless you've been to Elizabeth, New Jersey, then that's another thing altogether. We love Elizabeth, but I've been to Elizabeth. It was very, very disturbing. So even if you've been on Unity or some other metaphysical path for a number of years, we sometimes will revert back to that God. And I've known people for many years who will say to me, "Oh, I guess God must be upset," or "I guess God doesn't love me." Or even leaving the word God out if they've been in Unity for a while, say, "I guess karma is at work." Well, karma is not punishing. Karma is corrective, gently corrective. Sometimes it feels like we've been hit by a 2x4, but it isn't. Karma is gently guiding us to where we need to be. But there is no punishing God. That is not the way God works. And sometimes we'll think, well, if God is not punishing, then at best it's always a he at this point, distant or unresponsive. We're very willing to believe in the absolute goodness of God or God's unending love for us until some crisis or major challenge comes up. Then all that we've been revealing about God here at Unity, that God is love and peace and healing and abundant good, is out the window. And all I can think about, gosh, I guess life is really awful. I guess what they talk about on Sunday morning really is just kind of a nice hallmark feeling. But what I'm going through right now is very real, and Unity doesn't seem to be giving me an answer for this. It's discouraging that God isn't doing something for me right now, especially after getting up so early and going to all those Sunday services and donating and affirming and affirming and affirming. Someone years ago said to me, "I'm sure Unity works for some people, but not for me." It works for them, but I tried it. I tried these teachings, but somehow God just doesn't either doesn't care for me, or I'm just not designed to have a good life. This guy said, "Thank you for all you tried to do for me, but you won't be seeing me again." Through the years, as doing this thing called ministry, I've seen astonishing miracles. Again, a miracle is not an impossible thing. A miracle is the good of God unfolding in ways that we can't see. But I've seen these miracles over and over and over again. And I've seen some people really struggling to make sense of what life seems to be throwing at us. That in some ways it feels like the universe is very cruel. There's some tragedies that we see that make you wonder if some people are really meant to go through this because they just keep going through it over and over again. I look at my own mom's life. She passed in 2011, and at one point I said, "I want to talk about your story." And she said, "You have my permission to say anything, the truth. If it will help somebody, share my story." My mom was born in Gloucester, Massachusetts. The girl was 15 years old. She was the daughter of the owners of the boarding house, and she was raped one night by a drunken fisherman. She kept my mom for a few years until her abusive boyfriend made it impossible to keep her. So mom was put in an orphanage in Boston. When she was finally adopted by a Canadian couple from Nova Scotia who lived in northern Massachusetts, she was threatened daily with being returned to the orphanage if she didn't behave. Daily, she went through and through and through. If I'm not perfect today, I might be going back. The result of all this trauma in her life, she had nervous breakdowns every Christmas, every holiday, every major calendar event. She would break down and couldn't do anything. I had meningitis when I was a baby, took away part of my hearing. And all she could do was stare at me in the crib until my father grabbed me and took a cab to the hospital. She was unable to move for a week. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot for her to deal with. Any life crisis, she just shut down. I know, it was a lot. So she had all these crises, all these health crises through her whole life. She was incapacitated. She had a back operation. They screwed it up, and she couldn't move very well until the very end of her life. I would turn on all my children and go, "What dull lives these people lead." All my mom ever wanted to do was to be a mom and a housewife and have a happy, normal life. What she got was a life Job would say, "Damn, that's a lot." A life of unhappiness and chronic difficulty. A few years before she passed, she told me she didn't know why God didn't love her. Why she didn't know what she had done that was so awful to have the life that she did. Now, she was very happy that I was going to be a minister. I told her this is my path. She loved that I was in the theater. She was a little like, "Okay, ministry, really? Okay, we'll see." But she heard my recordings, and she really loved what I had to do. But she said to me, "I'm glad you're doing what you do, but I don't think I have much use for God. We haven't been on speaking terms for a long time." Maybe you feel the same. Maybe somebody in your family feels the same, that you just can't seem to get through to them. that really life is not that awful. But maybe you think or feel that God has forgotten you. Maybe you do this unity work, the affirmations, you take the class, you come here, and it still doesn't work in the way you really think it should, or the way we talk about that it can work. Do you feel that God has left you on your own to struggle and to strain, to work your butt off, to try to have faith that it will get better, and it doesn't really seem to work that way? You look at the TV, you read the paper, you say, does God really care for Jeff Bezos more than me? That you have enough money to play with spaceships when there are people teaching in Davie who are barely scraping by? Did God allow Betty Davis to smoke, 12 packs a day till she was 109? But your non-smoking brother got lung cancer at 23? What? Where is God here? I mentioned Job a minute ago. In the Bible, we read that Job was a really good man. He loved God. He tithed. He was generous with his children, always did the right thing. And suddenly he lost everything. He lost his children, his livestock, his health, everything. Because God and Satan made a bet whether Job was going to cave. Finally, his wife came to him while he was sitting on a pile of ash and scraping sores off his body. She looked at him and said, "Oh, go curse your God and die, you stupid man." What are you doing? God doesn't love you. Look at my life. Mrs. Job, we don't think about Mrs. Job. Mrs. Job didn't have it very good either. Her children were lost. Everything she had was lost, but they don't talk about Mrs. Job. It's always Mr. Job. And she's like, hello? Me too. Job went through a lot of anguish and doubt and fear over his life and his losses, but even in his grief, he knew and he felt that God was still there and God was everything. So Satan loses the bet, and God said, now you shall have everything back. Well, not the children, but he has new children for you. The Bible can be a little insane sometimes, but Mrs. Job said, I'm not doing the children thing again, okay? No, I already did that. But we grieve. We grieve a lot of losses. And the older we get, the more we lose here on the planet. One day I was really confused about the grieving process, and there were so many losses going. Do you feel that there are a lot of losses in 2025 already? There seems to be a lot of things going on right now. I think there's a cleansing in some ways, but there's also a lot of stuff going on for us. So one day I went within and asked about the grieving process. And why is it that we grieve, even though we as truth students know that life continues and life never ends, or that we lose things we treasure like a relationship or a career or a home. California, I've known so many people who have lost their homes. A couple I know in Pacific Palisades, their house burned down and they had $10 million worth of art gone in a cinder. It's all cinder now. There's nothing there. I think they're still in shock. They're doing fine. They're safe. They had a home in the desert. But what do you do with that? How do you grieve that? What do you do? So I went into meditation, and I wanted to know what this grieving thing was about. And what I heard is that the grieving process is a process. It's a natural healing response to our losses. We have to grieve if we're going to heal. Grief will take as long as it takes for the healing to take place. And healing doesn't mean that we're going to be pain-free. We don't get over grief. We just don't. We move on with this new wound that will always be there. Scarred over, certainly, but the wound is always there. And that's part of being on the planet. Jesus wept. Shortest verse in the Bible, 2 words, Jesus wept. With grief, when his friend Lazarus died. And here's a guy who knew all about life, was really in touch with his oneness with God, and still he was bawling like a baby when his friend died. He was fully human and fully divine, just as we are. But being fully human and fully divine means traveling through the valley of the shadow of death every once in a while. If you're here for any length of time, you'll go through it a few times. We all do. And that's why we have unity, to help us to remember the truth, that we're not alone, that you're here, and we're here with you, and we love you, and we're here to grieve with you, and we're here to walk with you in whatever you're going through. Never shut up about that. Always find someone, find a chaplain to talk with. Talk to me. I'm here. We're here. We're your spiritual family. You're not alone. And that's part of the grieving process, too, is to know we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to do this thing called life alone. We're here with you. We're here for you. We not only grieve what we lost, but we also grieve at times what we didn't have in life. We wonder what that career could have been like if I only had enough bravery, or if I only had enough money or had enough time to do that thing. If we only had the finances in our lives to have the life that we wanted to have, or find the mate that we wanted to have, or release the mate that we didn't want to have. My grandparents, through the last decades of their lives, they didn't talk to each other. They were silent roommates. My grandmother was a designer, a hat designer for Lilly Daché, a big designer in the early part of the 20th century. She lived in Greenwich Village. She went to the theater. She had this creative life. And my grandfather said, "Pack up, we're going back to Massachusetts." She had to leave her friends, her family, her career, and she never forgave him. Never forgave him. She was a good Italian wife. She made dinner, she kept house, but the love was out the window. Yeah, it was a lot of loss. She grieved leaving New York in her life. She never didn't grieve that. We may be still grieving from lack of love, from a family that we just wanted acceptance from. We may be grieving not hearing anything positive from your childhood on. There's some relatives, there are some parents who never hug their children or give them a kind word. Very often, depression and anxiety are the manifestations of chronic grief. If you're feeling that depression and grief over and over again, or continually, I invite you to find a wonderful grief therapist. Because I would say about 90% of the counseling I do at core is about grief. It's about what we've lost in life. My mom, again, from the beginning of her life, was told, "You aren't worthy, and we might send you back at any minute, so you better watch out." We've been told by others that we're being shut out by God because we're not good enough. What do I need to do to be good? Well, be good. It's like, oh, well, how do I do that? The church, don't sin. Well, what's a sin? Everything. Everything you like is a sin. Stop it. Don't do that. It feels good, then that's wrong. We will never tell you that at Unity. If it feels wonderful, celebrate it. But we've been told over and over again, you don't do that. You're wrong. You'll never succeed. You'll never heal. You'll never have enough money. You'll never amount to anything. And we've been grieving these lies for way too long. Way too long. Have you finally had enough? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? We need to change our mind. We need to change our thinking, change the way we look at life. Enough of putting yourself down for some illogical reasons that you don't even believe, but the church told us you were a sinner and there was no hope for you. But when we were kids, we said, that's not right. That's not the truth of who I am. But we grew up and we said, all right, we gave in. Not you, I mean, you're here now, right? We said, that didn't work for me. As a powerful creation of divinity itself, you have within you the key to having exactly the life that you would like to have. You think, what did Mark Cuban, what does he have? That wonderful, wealthy man. What made him so wealthy? You know, successful people have one thing in common, and that is they believe. They believe they deserve it. That's all. They believe it so strongly that nothing got in their way of them having it. Now, sometimes it wasn't quite ethical in the way they did it. That's for us in our own heart to say that is not my path. But people who are prosperous are people who say yes to prosperity. They say, yes, that is my path, and we in Unity would say we also can do it ethically and morally and openly and lovingly. At some point, we have to say enough is enough. No more sick and tired of my life. Not working, no more pretending that I'm separate from my Creator. No more naming myself as poor or little or sickly or limited. Those are not your names. I am is your name. I am powerful. I am prosperity. I am wholeness. I am joy. I am love. I am love together. I am love. I am prosperity. I am prosperity. I am good. I am good. Do you believe that? Yes. Great. Over here they do. Over here you're not too sure. We're going to have a group meeting later over there to see why we're having a little trouble with our goodness here. You are so good. The beginning of the scriptures is God created the world and God created you and said, oh, that's so good. I am so good. Look what I created. So good. That's you. You're perfect, just as you are. You may not have heard that until this morning, ever in your life. But you are. You're perfect. You're good. You're beautiful. You're God. You're God expressing perfectly at this very moment. You were created to have a wonderful life. Please know that. You were created to have a wonderful life, and yeah, we all go through challenges, but at core, your life is wonderful because you are wonderful. And God is waiting for you to end your grieving over the illusion that you weren't meant to have a wonderful life. Stop grieving the lie. Okay? Stop grieving the lie. We have enough to grieve in our lives, but don't grieve the lie that you are not worthy to have all the good, because you are. Stop grieving the idea that God is missing in action. Change the negative words that you've been using and naming yourself to a positive, joyful, and prosperous way of looking at your life. Change your belief that everyone else is loved by God, but I'm not. That is the ultimate arrogance, actually. Everybody else is loved, but I'm not. You're so special. No, you're not. You're like everybody else. You are loved by God in a way that you have no idea, because we have other ideas that are floating around and banging our head all the time. Change the actions you've been taking that don't reflect your powerful divine nature of being light, love, strength, and joy. In Unity, we have a number of spiritual tools available to us for transformation. The first step was our burning bowl ceremony. Now, you can do this at any time, at home or wherever. You take a bowl, line it with aluminum foil, or go to your bathroom and use the toilet. Doesn't matter, whatever works for you. You write down what you don't want this year, you rip it up, burn it, throw it away. Old worn-out ideas, destructive habits, fears we may have learned from as children, formative religion notions that don't celebrate who we are in a wonderful and supportive universe, and we went outside the front there and we burned it up in a pit. That feels really wonderful to release what doesn't work in our lives. And last week we did part 2, which is letter of gratitude for what's coming for the next year. If you haven't done that yet, if you're watching from home, write the letter, date it January whatever, 2026, and thank you, God, for all the good that's coming forth this year. We'll mail it back to you in December, and you'll see how many wonderful things have come forth. So this is the third part of our New Year celebration ritual. It's called the White Stone Ceremony. Now, why is it white stone? Well, my dear friend and Unity minister, the late David Williamson, created this ceremony to help us remember the divine plan that we came here, that our souls knew from the very beginning. In the book of Revelation, chapter 2, 17, it reads, "Let anyone who has an ear listen to what Spirit is saying. I will give you a white stone, and on that stone is written a new name that no one knows except for the one receiving it. So this is also a symbol of freedom. When in ancient Rome, they released their prisoners after they had served their sentences, they received a white stone as proof that they were free and that they had done their time. They were free. Hold your stone in your hand if you're not already. Hold that stone in your hand. Take a look at it. This is your freedom stone. You are free. I am free. Affirm that. I am free. Put that energy into your rock, into your stone. Oh, good. I am free. I am free. I am free. Together, I am free. I am free. You're free to live the life that you came to joyfully live. This is going to be a reminder of that. I want you to keep this with you. As a reminder, you are free from any limitation or lack. You are not limited by anything but your thoughts and your beliefs. You have the right to have the life you desire, the life you decided to have before you came to the planet. Your soul knew and knows what that is, and that's the longing that you have, the thing when you think about that gives you so much joy. When we read in Scripture, new name, that means that's your divine purpose, your reason for being on the planet. Who are you? You're a powerful creation of God. A new name doesn't mean, oh, I was Shirley, now I'm Cher. Though if you want to call yourself Cher, that's up to you. You do whatever you want to do. But it's not about a proper name. It's about the name of your soul, your spirit. This is who I am. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Turn within. Now, your new name may be a proper name, or it may be a word that you resonate with. It's a word that reminds you of your divine power, your divine worth. It says, this is who I am. It could be a noun, it could be a verb, it could be an adverb, it could be an adjective. The word is up to you. It's up to what you see. So as you hold this stone, actually this comes from a quarry in Jerusalem, feel the power of that land in this rock. Feel the power of spirit revealing the truth to you. See in your mind's eye a word begin to form. Don't judge it. Don't try to make it a word. Just let the word appear. You may picture yourself sitting in a theater with a screen in front of you, and then the film begins, and there's that word. What does that word say? What is that word? Don't judge it. Simply observe it in the quiet from your heart. It might surprise you. That's okay. Be with it. If it's more surprising, then that really did come from Spirit. Or it might be a word I recognize that word. I know that word. That's me. Let your heart be grateful for the revelation of truth in your mind, in your heart, in your body, in your soul. What is that word, name, phrase that God within is joyfully and powerfully revealing to your wakened mind? Be with that. Don't get anxious if it hasn't appeared yet. It will. If it doesn't appear now, then it might pop up this afternoon. It might come this evening or tomorrow morning. It'll show up when it's ready, when you're ready. When you have received the word, write it on your stone. Just meditate on that word after you've written it. What does Spirit want you to know or remember about this word? Again, if nothing comes to you right now, it will. Just keep in gratitude. It will be revealed. Just be with that. Breathe into your heart. Let it come. When you finish writing, hold it in your hand and close your eyes again. Ask Spirit, what is there more I need to know about this? Is there a matching other word you want to write on the other side? That might come up as well. If not, just bless that word. It's a divine gift from Spirit. It's your word for the year. we will have colored markers and pens in Friendship Hall for you to embellish your stone if you'd like. If you feel you want to create a work of art with that as well, then you're more than welcome to. If the word itself is good, that's good. So I invite you to close your eyes again if you are open them and we're writing. Breathe into your heart. Hold that word. It's sacred and yours. And we're grateful for this revelation. Remember, I am is our true name. And what are we applying to that? I am wholeness and strength. Breathe that in. I am prosperity itself. I am abundantly blessed right here, right now. New ideas, new thoughts are pouring forth, bursting forth into my world. I know what to do and how to do it. I am the light of God in the flesh. I deserve a wonderful life, and today I claim it. I know what to do and what to say. I know when to remain silent. I know when to move forward. I know what to do at every moment with Spirit guiding my way. In the quiet, just for a moment, give gratitude. Let that word flow forth from your mind into your body and out into your life. Breathe in and let go. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made flesh in you. For the revelation of this truth today, tomorrow, and always, we are grateful. And so it is. Amen.
This is a time in our service when we have the opportunity to show our gratitude by giving back. And there are alternate ways to donate. You may go to the website, unityofpompanobeach.org, and click on the donate button. Or you can text to give, and you'll get back a link for you to make your donation. Please come forward, ushers. Now, please join me in saying the offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. And so it is.
Unity, if you want to snap your fingers, join us. Come on. The whole world's broke and it ain't worth fixing. It's time to start all over, make a new beginning. There's too much pain, too much suffering. Let's resolve to start all over, make a new beginning. Now don't get me wrong, I love life and living. But when you wake up and look around and everything that's going down all wrong, you see we need to change it now. This world with too few happy endings. We can resolve to start all over, make a new beginning. Start all over. Start all over. Start all over. Start all over. The world is broken into fragments and pieces that once were joined together in a unified whole. But now too many stand alone, there's too much separation. Yeah, we can resolve to come together in the new beginning. Start all over. Start all over. Start all over. Start all over. We can break the cycle. We can break the chain. We can start all over. In the new beginning, start all over. Start all over. Start all over. Start all over. Come on, Unity. Start all over. Start all over. Start all over. Start all over.
Thank you, Danette. I love that. Start all over. Break the chain. What do they say? Traumatized people traumatize people. Those who we came from, those who grieve, traumatized, or in pain, and we can break that chain right now by saying, I am healed, I am whole. We bless our family, we bless those who told us to lie, because they didn't know. So we break the chain and we start all over today. For today only, we had a few more white stones left, so as a fundraiser, we're charging $10 if you want to have an extra stone to give to someone or to keep to yourself. And we're doing that as a fundraiser, and cash only in the bookstore. So go to the bookstore and get another little rock, and you'll be helping your center as well. I'm going to call Peter up on the board because we have an announcement to make.
Thank you. Where are the rest of the board members? Come on up. They're here. I see John, I see Michelle, I see Wade. Tracy, where's Tracy? Rita, are you here today or are you studying? Tracy's counting, so that's important. We're all gathered up here today because, you know, what we go through in our calendar is so important for each of us, but it's also important for our community. We had our burning bowl, as did our community. We have things that we had to be rid of, and we've done that. Our letter to God, you'll hear more about, frankly, when we have our annual meeting in February. But today, our naming ceremony is really a critical time for us. We have been an inclusive, multifaceted, diverse, welcoming community. Yes, we are.
Welcoming.
And we want to welcome more people, and we want to broaden our horizons here. And so we're announcing today, ta-da, Ta-da. We are becoming Unity of Broward Spiritual Center. This is to recognize that geographically, who we are is much more than just Pompano Beach. We're located here in Pompano Beach. We will continue to have the same joy and spirit of Pompano Beach. But we're saying to the world, we're saying to Florida, we're saying that unity is expanding. We have room for you here. You're welcome. Come on in. Welcome home. You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as the treasurer, I have to say, this is a starting point. So any donations at this point in time, you still need to make it payable to Unity of Pompano Beach. Bankers work slow, and so probably not until after the annual meeting can we actually use the Broward name. So just please keep using Unity of Pompano Beach for now. You'll make me very happy.
Unity of Broward is our DBA. We're doing business as at the moment. It's not a legal change right now. So our legal name is Unity Church of Pompano Beach, and it's staying there. So you can make out a check to that too. You can make a check to Unity. That's fine. We're using this to expand ourselves, to say, here we are, to the whole community. I believe in Miami they're changing the name from Unity on the Bay to Unity of South Florida. I know, really, they're taking the whole. You're taking the whole thing? Wow. Okay. Geez, leave Broward for us. Thank you. Let's close our eyes before we move on to the rest of our day. Breathe into your heart your new name, your new word, your new beginning. Spirit is at work. 2025 is wonderful right now. You are wonderful right now. You're powerful, joyful, creative, prosperous, healthy, loving, joyful. Breathe that in. No, Spirit is right here, right now. And your life and our lives work for the realization of this truth. We're always so grateful. And in this consciousness, let's affirm together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Please stand, join hands, and let's sing Let There Be Peace on Earth. And let it begin with me.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family harmony. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment I, with every step I take, let this be my with me. Have an amazing Sunday, everybody. See you on the next one. That's right.